doing, I just played the game a little bit, and especially in the early phase it's still really close to Rule the Waves 2, but it has some differences. And we're seeing it here. One of the differences, you now have a 1920s start. That is possible. And in the 20s you have Germany that is already facing the Versailles Treaty, and you can play with the Washington Naval Treaty activated. And I think we're actually going to do this with Japan, because I incidentally even wrote my thesis about the Japanese naval rearmament in this period after the First World War. And the game itself makes you a mixture of something like Jackie Fisher and John Jellicoe. I think it was John, I'm not sure though. So basically you are the first lord of the admiralty in your nation. The Grand Admiral who designs the fleet, who creates the ships, who chooses which ships are to be built. And when it comes to war, you are the one fighting the battles, commanding the battles. This game itself is, in this regard, has some flaws. You can't deny that. Like, for instance, every naval architecture is led by a certain doctrine. And while you yourself can have your individual doctrine, you can't convert it into the game. If you want to build mass instead of class, you can't just tell the game to only send out battleships in groups of at least 8 or 12 or 16 or 20 or whatever. The game itself chooses how many of your ships it sends out. So your individually inferior ships might face an equal number of individually superior ships. And that is a huge disadvantage, but one, of course, that we can accept in this regard and just play around it by not designing individually inferior ships. That is, I guess, the only solution we can find to this in some way. Now, the game itself includes a couple of nations. In the 1900 start, we also have the potential of the Confederate States of America as an ahistorical option. And here in the 1920s, as we can see, we have Great Britain, we have Germany, France, Italy, Russia, the Soviet Union, Japan, and the US. And in 1900, you also still have Austria-Hungary. Every nation has its certain kind of individual traits. Here it is surprise attack on the Japanese, which means that when war breaks out, you have a surprise attack on an enemy port in one area where you have ships as well. And that, of course, you can use, like, it's Japan started its war with surprise attacks, and in this regard it is transferred to the game. The British have a very funny thing, it's hidden flaws, which means that usually their ships tend to blow up faster. I actually had a game in Rule the Waves 1 where my German battle fleet met the English one, and eight of their battleships blew up within 20 minutes of the battle. So Japan has surprise attack and research advantages in these areas. You can read it yourself. You see the guns, they actually even have developed 16-inch guns already, and no oil and 40,000 dock size. We are going to play Japan, and in the next window we can choose whether the Treaty of Versailles is in effect and the historical Washington Naval Treaty. And we are actually going to choose it, and it's going to be the fleet size. Let's make it very large. Now, usually you can build your own legacy fleet, but when you do 1920 with the Washington Naval Treaty one. That means it builds them for you and it's some kind of revenue. But you can see now what ships are facing. Naval arms limitation treaties of 10,000 tons and no more than 8-inch guns. But as Japan is considered to be a dictatorship, I can shoot for 10%, so 11,000 tons when the ships are together. So I start with 2 pre-dreadnoughts, a lot of battle cruisers. We see here 8 13-inch, 8 12-inch, 25 to 27 knots, that's pretty good. And my slowest battleships are 21 knots, 12-inch, only 12-inch guns on the battleships, that's really bad. And I'm only building 1 unit, so that's a really unfortunate random start for me. But at least that one, the Tosa, will have 16-inch guns. But we're not going to restart, we're just working. We will just work with what we've got. Okay, let's immediately increase gun size. Research will be a priority of this meeting because I will try to get as efficient Navy as possible, as good ships as possible. This is fun again. Now the game, I have 13-inch guns here on the battle cruisers, but I haven't researched them. And I've realized that has happened in a small test game I started as well. My battleships actually had more secondary guns that were allowed by the engine. So there are still some bugs here, but those are like minor bugs that shouldn't face a problem. The only problem is if I want to rebuild the ship and I want to improve the guns, I can't because I haven't even researched the basic guns yet. So here we can't do anything. Okay, building is building 2 light cruisers and a battleship, and now we're in negative. Thanks to the research, our budget is negative, so we can't really do much. Increase bases and so on, but with that right now I can't really do much. But it could be though, is check. What I can check is whether I can convert the best to light area. Because from what I understood, the game you get like a bonus in research if you have 1 area, and I can't put in areas yet. So in this regard I will have to convert one, and this is here. I can add a flight deck. Watch the weight, obviously, low weight. So I go and 4 planes, so that's pretty good. Let's see if I use the fire control, I obviously don't need it. This is only the rebuild that changes if I change the ammo. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Secondary guns, good. I mean, I could, let's say, do a focus, but this is really let's reduce the armor as much as possible. That's all I can do. It's entirely against the machine. And this area will be against the machine. Replace the machine. That will allow me 6 planes, but what's the point? Seriously, 4 or 6 planes, I don't think that is any different. So I'll just make 1 very simple to have 1, and that's it. Okay, let's do this. Let's check. Cannot identified, okay, because it doesn't have enough carriers. Now it's a light carrier. The ship is overweight, but overweight is okay. Might turn out then to be too slow. So we, this is not ideal. Here you can can change. I could like start drawing something. How does it work? So if you are like want to have everything perfect, you can really start drawing your ship designs. Oh yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll leave it just like that. Funnels. Let's delete the funnels so it at least looks like a ship. Asymmetric funnel. That doesn't look that bad actually. Okay. Not a beauty, but it'll do. This is purely cosmetic. I could have left it the way it was, but now at least it looks somewhat like a carrier. So let's leave it at this. Let's save this. And I will convert one of them to this light carrier. We see here the ships are obsolete, and that is a really nice touch. Ships go obsolete, and if you don't do anything, I guess they at some point just sink in harbor. So I can update them now, and that will probably be one of the things I'm going to do, because the Naval Treaty is in effect for 120 months. And you can always break the Naval Treaty by starting a war, but my goal is to actually live with the restrictions as much as possible. So I will take some effort not to go into war too early, to just get rid of the treaty. At some point I might decide to go into war anyways, but right now I'm not going to do it. Now, this is the map. They changed it, no they haven't. It's still kind of disappointing that they are too lazy to at least use a map that fits the time frame. This is like the current map, and they use it from 1902. So Austrian Empire shows all the borders of 2019, I guess. Yeah, Kosovo isn't shown, and Montenegro hasn't split off either. So when is it? Mid-20s? Mid-zero years, 2000 somewhere. But okay, I mean, that's basically purely cosmetic. The game itself isn't, for me, it isn't that relevant. And in the game, I'll try to focus on those areas where I already have bases in, because you need to station ships in certain areas where you already have ships to not get conquered that easily. And obviously, the more zones you have bases in, the more difficult it gets, and the more money it takes, and the more ships it takes. But I already am situated in those 3 zones, so if I go to war with Britain, there is something to conquer. The US, there's something to conquer, and with France as well. Russia or Soviet Union too. Okay, yeah, that's basically it for now. I could change your doctrine, and you can play here with the ammo loader, but it's usually best to just leave it the way it is, unless you really know what you're doing and you keep up. Like at 1900, AT shells are mostly useless, so it might make sense to switch to mostly HE. But if you don't pay attention and check the data all the time when new shells come up, you will face problems in this regard, because your shells are really, the ships will show less efficiency. Here I could change to gunnery and nitric or torpedo warfare. You can only choose but this will increase the maintenance costs, obviously, because they're training harder. And as I'm not planning to go to war right now, I don't see a reason to spend money on this. And when we come to money, there's another thing too. Here I can put them into reserve fleet and mothball them. And obviously that has an effect. Not only does do the maintenance costs go down dramatically when I mothball them. Here we see now it's 47, I guess it's million. But the crew quality goes down, because a mothball ship doesn't have any crew on board, except for maybe a few guys who put some oil in there and make sure it doesn't sink. So putting too many ships in, especially good, powerful ships, to mothball is really a bad choice. Okay, so we need first to get the budget positive again before we can really do much else. We can now build air bases with 20 and with 40. As scrapped, so the British scrapped 3 the Americans scrapped 3 dreadnoughts. And Syria and Oman, they have 14 left. Yeah, I mean, most of them will be scrapped soon. I haven't decided yet, but I guess I'm going to scrap them as well. I mean, 47 isn't that much, but they are mostly useless now. And if I rebuild them, I mean, I have director, and I could have improved director and increased their ratio, but even then it's only 12-inch guns and only 4 of them. And the secondary battery, they aren't even semi-dreadnoughts, so their secondary battery is only 6-inch. So I guess I'll yeah, do that. It's going to be then I do convert them to dreadnoughts. Actually, might. I think if it's lower than a certain degree, yeah, under 16,000, I can convert them to light carriers, but I'll need a catapult because they're too slow and I haven't invented them yet. So let's just wait for a couple of turns whether or not it'll be worth it. And yeah, research. I will get a CD of where I have the advantage. I'm actually going to focus naval aviation and shipboard. That sounds like a good thing to focus on what I'm already good at. And what else? I think that's good. I'll just focus on those two to get a strong carrier force. So there's an internal upheaval in Cuba. The US is apparently sending a force there. And this is one of those random events, and everything I do changes. I can get more budget, I can lose prestige, or I can have more tension. But this will only worsen the relationships with the United States, and I honestly couldn't care less whether or not they control Cuba, because it's not in a sea zone where I want to have influence. If this were Sumatra, I would intervene, but so they're taking over Cuba. Can I continue with high research priority for shipboard aircraft without an operational aircraft? Okay. Okay, that's another reason why the Virgin Islands would say they're not taking over Cuba. Okay, they already changed it. At the end of the journey, I always get a message of what is being built, what is being scrapped, and intelligence report, 17 is built on those. But to be honest, I don't really concentrate too much on that, because I try to build my fleet as strong as possible and my individual ships as strong as possible. And I don't really care that much whether they are rebuilding because I plan my best to be the best they can be. So in this regard, it's Mitsubishi has developed and I see I don't have torpedo bombers yet. So what would be important? I guess range. I want to be able to hit as hard as possible, and I guess toughness. I mean, reliability would probably be good too. I guess that means like how many of them are ready to fight, and toughness means how many of them get through the end of fire. At least that's how I understand it. It's got the right reliability. Now I've ordered a new design. Aircraft manufacturers will just tell me what they have developed in a couple of years. Okay. After a naval visit by USA, you're asked by journalists to come and visit ships. Now here I can lose prestige, but also lose tension. And that is like if the tension with the US is too high and I want to avoid war. Such an event is useful to do this. This is nothing. And here I gain prestige, but also gain tension. And prestige is, if it gets too low, you get fired. But apart from that, it's basically victory points. So I just do this because my relationships were at 1 tension. Prestige can also be used like a kind of currency, in a way that I sacrifice prestige for more budget, for instance, in certain events. Or here, like if I wanted to reduce tension, it would have also cost me 1 prestige. So having as high prestige as possible is the best you can do. Okay, the Tsushima is ready, it's built, and we have finished the first light aircraft. Now I should be able to do heavier than air at high priority. Let's see. How do I do this now? Impressive air force on board of my light carrier, and experience is poor, and from what I understand, will go up and up, and the higher it is, the better the voice is. And the Chinese, there's obviously stories I don't like this design at all. Could actually scrap them. Now let's mothball all of them. And scrap them as soon as I've developed. As soon as I've developed those they are slashing around into ships on station. Ships are here now. This is a good point to show the ship design in action. I want to replace light motors. I usually just do auto design and use that basic design they're proposing as a means to build on it. Swivel mounts, so they have a very high firepower, only 5 guns. That's not too aggressive, especially as they are only 6-inch. This can be so to upper volume, but then there's actually 2 inch guns. 29 knots. I want them to have at least 20 knots. How expensive is it? How big does the ship have to be? I could build. Let's build a few replacement cruisers for the ones that I have. Options for effective conversions, but for that they would have to be bigger. So let's significant size if we come along with 4 inches. I think the biggest vehicle is here. That is that this technology will not change anything. Shipwrecks. mean, that's, I think that changes over time, according to development, because there were like periods beyond 10,000 tons in the 40s. I guess as we are in the 20s, this is a limitation that I impose for the first year. No, I don't want coal, so I need to change it. Insufficient topside space for AA guns. Thought 80 AA guns sounded a little bit excessive. Let's try with 50. Nope. I have no idea what this 0 means. Does it actually mean I can't have a single AA gun? Topside space for AA guns or the other equipment? I'm not sure. Switch this to code. This is what I really like about this game, because you have just so many parameters to play around with, and to design the most interesting ship, the most efficient ship is actually a real challenge, and to me is a big part of the fun of the game. Okay, so I guess I haven't researched something that is needed for the AA. So I can either make the ship faster, or reduce the range, or increase the range, or reduce the displacement. Much faster. Only 31 knots. That doesn't seem to make too much sense. Long range. I don't really need 70% masses. Oh, just commerce radars. But for commerce radars, they are a little bit expensive. I'd like to use old obsolete ships for that. So let's just reduce displacement, but as this will at the same time reduce the costs. This looks decent now. Yep. Okay. Too many secondary guns for the displacement. Where's 20 the maximum? Nope. 20 yes. Okay. This should mean that I can reduce the range a little more. Too many. I mean, a little buffer in the way it doesn't hurt. 12 is a little. Let's give it more ammo then. A little buffer counteract, because you can later on use the neck or add some area or something like that. But in worst case, I just okay, we've got a design. Now, this in the previous version, one immediately had the design. Now I basically ordered the ship design bureaus to develop a ship according to those parameters, and that'll take 2 months and will cost me 2,400,074 yen. Okay. Soviet Union makes sure we finish behind the host nation. That's another such event where I can reduce tension, or I can go for the prestige, I think. Yeah, prestige, and it increases tension as well. I still have enough buffer, I guess. We have no aircraft, so okay. Yeah, the light carrier has an air group with torpedo bombers, but I don't have any developed yet, but that should be done soon. Okay, now this can be built. Oh god, it's basically as expensive as I can, as my budget has as a buffer. But, oh wait, I finished another light cruiser, so I can build it immediately. 2. Yeah, when does the design finally come? Yes, there's a box production. Okay, let's check. No, it's actually still in progress. anti-French rebellion in Senegal. One light cruiser has finished working up. He wants to build, and this is like one of the events where you can cheat. Naval Secretary believes submarines are the key to victory in a future war. He wants you to build at least 21 additional submarines. I can say they are underhand, unfair, and damned under the Japanese. That way I lose budget, but I gain prestige. I can do half of it, and then there's nothing. But I have to build half of it. And of course I get more budget. Now there's a way to cheat in a way, play the mechanics. Okay, let's first look at the main torpedo bombers. I'm gonna finish it first. So there's a way to cheat. I think it's 7 turns. After 7 turns, it's gonna check whether I'm building the 21 submarines. So I can take just start 21 submarines after the 6th turn. Might be 5 turns or whatever, but something in that ballpark. And then immediately cancel them afterwards. And the Naval Secretary is happy because I've achieved. Goal was successful. But I mean, as the Grand Admiral of the Japanese fleet and being responsible for the build-up, I will actually build 21 ships. I usually do that because it's like I want to have at least some part of simulation, and in a simulation you wouldn't cheat your Naval Secretary by starting the ships and scrapping them afterwards. His inspection will be fired pretty fast. So let's go back here. Max speed, range is very important. 173, that sounds really good. Maneuverability is very low, and toughness is the highest. Maneuverability will probably be an issue in the case that I'm facing that they're facing fighters. That's a price I have to pay, and my fighters will score. So I'm going to build 26 though. Probably have to stop everything else. Close enough. No idea why it doesn't say everything's okay now. Yeah, now it says it. Okay, good. Let's increase dock size once more. When the Naval Treaty runs out, I want to be able to build something like Yamato. And I have no idea why it says I don't have planes, because I also didn't find out how to build them manually. It seems to be like automatic. Okay, I can't choose them yet. I guess it'll take some time to work up to start production or something like that. No idea why I can't have the torpedo bomber yet. We can check on that, I hope. Did it say something? No. Reliability is nothing yet. So I guess I don't have a prototype. Crushed the rebels in Senegal. Kawasaki has a new flying boat. Okay. Equal speed basically. Range is higher. Firepower is higher. Maneuverability is higher. Confidence is higher. All is higher. British fighter called Super Marines service. Going to be faster than our fastest fighter. So basically they want me to build a new silent fighter, or at least if I have I guess the Argentinians have been wanting British rebellion is better than the tools are politically in the Balkans. What's your advice on how to handle the crisis? random events. But I don't know whether it was worth it if I plan to stay in peace for the next 100 days. Why should I get 4 light cruisers? Does it give some kind of bonus? It seems to make sense to modernize them now. If possible, enough weight remaining, I could replace the engines too. And if I think about keeping the treaty, it might actually be worth it, even though it's more expensive or close to as expensive as building a new one. I said, if I'm sticking to the treaty, that will mean I'll keep those ships for a long time, and upgrading them should be worth it. Can I have, here I can have a lot of things. Let's do a real proper update. Give it AA, give it better improved directness, give it increased elevation, make everything better. Because the ship, also battle cruisers will continue to fight for another 10 years. Increase the number. It's a battle cruiser, okay. Battleship, they want to reclassify it as a battleship with only 6 inch. That's like British design, prone to blow up. Can I make it faster? Yeah, I can. What is this? Still a... Why do they... okay, yeah. This is another thing. Unfortunately, you can't determine whether your ships, how your fleets are made up. The game sets it for itself. And historically, battle cruisers, some of them were converted to battleships. The Congo class of the Japanese are an example for that. But the Japanese could choose to use the ships accordingly. Here, on the other hand, I might face a battle between cruisers where the opponent sends his battle cruisers, and if I don't have any anymore, I might just have a few heavy cruisers to send against them. So this is a real issue. I have no idea what speed is necessary. Okay, so 29 and it's still a battle cruiser, because I don't think I want to reduce the number of battle cruisers. And this isn't a ship with 6-inch belt. This isn't a ship that this is a ship that faces. Let's reduce that. This is a ship that isn't suited for a battle line. It'll just blow up. With 6-inch belt, 2.5 deck is, I guess, okay somewhat. Even though its own gun can easily penetrate it with the current shells. But I think it should be better now with the music. So I need to keep it as a battle cruiser. 27 is still, okay, let's see, 28. So we need to aim for 28. Let's remove the submerged torpedo mounts. They're obsolete anyways. 29 tons. Could reduce the number of secondary guns. And I also want to have more ammo if possible. I don't think I can do that. Let's return it to 100. Still too heavy. 6. It's barely any AA. Let's make it slightly overweight. Could have directed fire for secondary. How much weight does it get? Not that much. Yeah, I guess we'll just do this. Oil. How much does it cost? 36 billion. No AA. Yeah, but I mean, otherwise turning it into a battleship would be completely useless. So let's build it as this. Let's rebuild those 3. Only 10 years old, but already completely obsolete. Okay, 7. Oh god, that's expensive. I need to stop 3 of them to not immediately go bankrupt or overuse my budget. Now I can build light carriers. Okay, good. Actually, I can probably just have them continue here at a low pace, because I won't need those battle cruisers anytime soon. And let's immediately look what kind of light carrier we could design. Increased elevation. If I have any artillery on there, it should be dual purpose. How many planes? 19 planes on a 9,100 ton carrier. Doesn't seem to be too effective. I think I could reduce the belt armor. I don't really want... I mean, it's not every time that you can choose, obviously, your engagement. But if there's any influence I can have, then it should be that I am preventing them to go close enough to fight. And if I can put 3 additional, what was it, 19? No, it's 2 additional planes. And maybe more AA on it. It should probably be worth it. Okay, let's try here. Let's put 10 of them. And more light AA. Okay. Yeah, for a first light carrier that should be enough. Oh, it's with coal. Okay. That will mean I'll need some... something like Sumatra pretty soon, to not be dependent on foreign... Wait, that's far too much. To not be dependent on foreign oil. Is it okay? Topside space. Cannot have tertiary, not secondary guns. Yeah, it's another bug here. So the automatic design gives me tertiary guns. I think that's how it's spoken. So the automatic design creates a ship that is not valid, because I need I can't only have tertiary if I have secondaries, which is kind of stupid, but okay. That's something that will probably be fixed at a certain point. Okay, I don't think I need 145. 120 should be more than enough. Now this is reduced here. I guess because I have a higher number of this. Yeah, okay. Can I do this? No, I can't. Flight deck armor? Probably, yeah, far too much weight. Okay, yeah, let's just leave it with some weight buffer then, I guess. Okay. Yeah, let's take this as my first light carrier design. Too many secondary guns. Rate of fire is reduced by 10%, okay. How is it now? Still too many. Okay. But that means I can put more light on it. I have 142. Can I actually put another? Yeah, I can. Okay. So let's do it this way. AA isn't the strongest, but 22 planes might be usable at a certain point. Even though it looks too small. But let's do it. Okay. Tosa is finished, working up. It's opened fire on a fishing boat from Italy, sinking the boat and killing several fishermen. How do we react? Italy, no tension at all. Prestige, I could sacrifice prestige or get more tension. Oh, let's get more tension, I can afford it. What? The Germans have developed a torpedo bomber? They are not allowed to develop military aircraft. I guess that isn't added to the Versailles Treaty limitation in this game. Design study. Okay, so the Argentinian insurgents hasn't helped. Internal upheaval in the Baltic states. Okay, Soviet Union wants to take over something in the Baltics. I don't care. Why would I care? Baltics. Okay, that's Germany's problem. Budget. In international peace conference would reduce tension. I'm actually going to do this. The bad result might be that treaty time is prolonged. Yes, by 40 years. Okay. Anyways, I can always break it by starting a war, but I should try to at least keep out of war until 1930, as it is historically correct. So let's build one Zuyo. 2 billion in the red, and I only have 1.3 billion. So yeah. I guess my conversions will just remain in the dockyards without anything being done. Weight saving for, okay, Soviet government. Yeah, I mean they'll research it anyways at some point. 5-inch guns improved, but this will give them money. Okay, 5-inch guns sounds good, because it seems like a good caliber for secondary guns. And better secondary guns doesn't hurt. Another rebellion. Improved powertrain and elevation for 4.5 billion. Yeah, let's sell them. We do a big sellout. We want money. wants to sell ships to a South American country. Ah, okay. Yeah, strong arms industry. We're selling the ships. We'll just research faster than they can copy us. New docks completed. French government wants to sell us something. Increased battery capacity. That should improve my submarines. Good. And increase the dockyard size immediately again. Oh, Sierra Leone continues. They haven't crushed it yet. Above water torpedo mounts on all ships. Okay. France has stolen. I can increase tension with France, or I can lose prestige. And I don't really know what the in brackets mean. Usually I think it means a little less, but I wouldn't know that it's possible to have 21.5, but let's try it. Okay, yeah. I mean, as long as I stay above 20, I'm fine. And I don't, as said, I don't want war too soon. Shell dies. Now it, when all my ships shoot at one target, there's lower penalty. Because historically, until they invented shell dies, the problem was that a ship being shot at, you would aim across the geysers, splashing up for where your shell hit. But if 10 other ships shoot it, which of the geysers are yours? So aiming was basically impossible. But then they actually put dye into shells, so the geyser would go up, would be blue or green or red, so you could identify where your ship was hitting it. I don't want to increase tension yet because I want to play it at least somewhat historically, and work with the limitations of the Naval Treaty, because I disliked it in the first in Rule the Waves 1 that you basically rebuilding the ships has a huge potential, but it's basically absolutely unnecessary. The ship development is so fast, and you can increase the dockyard size so fast that rebuilding a ship at a moment where a ship becomes obsolete, if you rebuild it, you pay half or 2/3 of the price of a new ship, which has 2 times the capacity. It just doesn't add up really to that, and shell caliber increase all the time, and so on. So rebuilding never really made much sense. But now, with being forced to stay at peace for 10 years, like it was in reality, not being able to build new battleships, that will force me to modernize, and I think that's a pretty nice thing. Okay, let me see. Do I already have catapults? No, I don't. I think. Yeah. Because I want to check whether I'm going to, whether it's actually makes sense to convert the pre-dreadnoughts. I will build more light carriers as soon as the other conversions are done, but as I'm not expecting war anytime soon, I don't have to do it too fast. But that is another interesting part where it actually shows a nice part of realism. If you don't keep building all the time, when war breaks out, you obviously are lagging behind. So it might make sense from an economic standpoint to wait a year or two to start new ships when you expect new technologies to arrive. But as war can break out and ships take years to be finished, those 2 years of waiting might create a gap of 2 years where the enemy is superior to you. So you're basically being forced to pump out new ships all the time. So let's see, sudden lump in the economy. I can decrease the budget or increase tensions. I have no point. Probably the budget decrease is lower when I sacrifice prestige as well, but I have no idea, and the game unfortunately doesn't tell me, so I'm just going to use the one where I don't lose prestige. France has stolen. Yeah, I'm not going to sacrifice more prestige. I'll try to keep at peace with France as much as I possibly can, but I will not sacrifice what we want: speed and range, I guess, for a new fighter. Yeah. So I'm not going to sacrifice my prestige for that. Yeah, let's sell them. Enable CV conversions. Okay, now I can actually convert battleships and battle cruisers over 16,000 tons. That could be interesting. That might actually have been a use for those. Let's see. If I take an old battle cruiser, just to check. Or something like this. How effective could that be? That sounds more usable. 42 planes. Okay, that's nice. Okay. But my budget is kind of slow. Yeah, I started 1920 with Japan, and I wrote my thesis about the Japanese naval rearmament between the world wars. So to me it is an interesting opportunity to replay history to a certain degree, as I've researched it to a point. Yeah, actually I forgot to change it. Thank you. Okay. Internal upheaval in Albania. I couldn't care less. I will concentrate on my sphere of influence. Everything is getting obsolete here. How many? They have 6 torpedo tubes. Can I convert them in any useful way? Modernize them? Triple. Doesn't sound like very useful designs. I'll just mothball them and build new ones. And everything is getting obsolete. Oh my god, I really need to build new ships. I can't with the battleships. Yeah, it's let's put it this way, it's not the most attractive optically, but what I really love is the idea behind it. As said, I wrote my thesis about it, and naval building is I don't know any game where it's displayed in this way to such an extent that you can actually have this degree of realism. There are a lot of things still missing, and I would have a long list of recommendations for them to add features, but both the ship designer as well as all those historic facts, like for instance, you want to stop building pre-dreadnoughts because you know you're going to have battleships in a few years and they'll be useless, but if you stop building them and war breaks out, you are running out of heavy ships, and this represents the reality to such a high degree, which I really appreciate. Yeah, I can modernize basically everything. The ships I should have, none of them probably has AA. And okay, torpedo protection 3, yeah. Torpedo protection, I don't know if any of them have it. I don't think I can add it widely. I might be able to add torpedo bulges. That's about it. Wait, that was a new light carrier and it's already finished. That's going pretty fast. Nope, we are not increasing tensions. And there's aircraft catapults, okay. Yes. Now we can check whether it's actually possible to convert them to something useful, otherwise I can finally scrap them. My pre-dreadnoughts. The two I still have left. Okay, if at all, that would be dual purpose. Let's see. And probably a new machinery in that old thing. That's insanely expensive. Let's see, add a catapult. Forward, I don't know. How many do you need? 2? I guess. Let's see, how many? Is it worth it for 21 to pay 9, like total 41 billion for 12 months to have only 21 ships, planes on it? I don't think so. Yeah, maybe 22. Nope. Doesn't seem worth it. And this is like what I'd love, for instance, to have them, to have an ability to sell them. But for that they would have to add secondary powers. Germany sold pre-dreadnoughts to the Ottoman Empire, and the United States sold some to Greece, and I think did Portugal, at least Portugal I think was interested in them too, I can't remember. So that would be a nice thing to turn them into money and add more nations, maybe non-playable nations or something like that. But yeah, I mean the game is designed by 2 or 3 guys, so I guess the abilities they have are somewhat limited. So let's finally finish these conversions here, and then we're gonna go big in carrier construction and modernization. And this is another nice part, like basically you're always out of money. US wants an alliance. That doesn't sound bad at all. Let's do it, even though it means less less budget. Okay, fast. This is the fastest. Short range though. This has the longest range. Firepower is all pretty low. Maneuverability is the lowest. What was the range? Yeah, but I can't have 77 range. It's a carrier fighter. Toughness doesn't sound like a big improvement, to be honest. Ah well, we're not gonna fight with it anyways. Okay, another fighter, better. Oh yeah, that's still the one I'm already getting out of service. So, whatever. It's not really that important by now. Yeah, but they bought a lot of ships were sold to the South American states, and Chile, Argentina, and Brazil all bought full-fledged dreadnoughts. And I think Brazil, it was the Agincourt that was then confiscated by the British. Actually, is the battleship with the most turrets. And Great Britain confiscated it at the beginning of the war. 4 billion in the red. That doesn't sound too good. Okay, 4 6-inch. That doesn't sound too impressive at all, but it's very cheap. Only 3,400 tons. Aircraft carrying airships. What? Aircraft carrying. So I mean, the Americans had, I think, 2 of them, but that they simulate them in the game. Okay, that's interesting. Now, how can I get... Here I can't get Zeppelins. Where can I build Zeppelins? I have no idea. I probably don't have an airship base. That might be a reason. Shouldn't it be here? Like every base? I guess so. And that's another thing we need to do. I mean, basically every time, permanently I'm running out of money. Let's build one in Sasebo, an airship base. Yeah, I don't even have a single air base yet. Let's build one. In Yokosuka. Okay, and more money is being spent, but at least the first conversion is done. So that should save, give back some of the budget. Construction of an airship base, okay. And that is also done, so can I build now airships? No. What do you mean by make Su? Okay, ship design is obviously also not Navy air station. That's just for the planes. Yeah. Subs I already have quite a lot, and I don't think the current. I mean, I need more of everything, and all of them need modernization. Basically, all of them, and I need new destroyers. I need everything new. So this is like in reality. You always want more and need more, but at some point you just have to suck it up and accept that you have to set your priorities. I have no idea how to build airships. 4 base, yeah, I have an airship base now. I can't choose. I can't choose airships from this. I can't request new airships, so they aren't being done over this interface. I have no idea how to do this. I guess I won't. More efficient hull form, yeah, let's buy it. Reduces engine horsepower requirements, nice. Okay, and the next is about to be finished. Italian ship, heavy cruiser. 3-inch armor bell, that's very weak. But a lot of guns. 14.5, and that's a lot of firepower. 10,000 tons and 31 knots. Yeah, but it'll probably blow up like nothing if you hurt it with this weak armor. But at least an impressive offensive firepower. Reduces penalty on ship turning, okay. Medium bomber, okay. Don't even have one yet, so yeah, let's take it. Let's increase this, expand base. No idea. 8. Okay. Does it have automatic airships then, I guess? Yeah, I guess so. Huh. Probably. They didn't want to add another design element, I guess. So I guess those airships are just there. Okay. 5 more turns. I need more carriers. I need more modernized ships. I need everything more. Yeah. Tensions aren't high enough, so my budget isn't high. Virgin Islands, okay. Oil is another thing I need. Okay. What is the most urgent refit? Cruisers I don't care that much. Destroyers neither. Because I don't think I can rebuild them to anything useful. I mean, I could give them a new life and give them new engines for a high price. Scout catapults. Yeah, to scouts to scout for targets. Yes. I mean, there's a lot I could build. The thing is, my budget. I need carriers, and my battleships should be modernized as well. I think at a certain point they start sinking if I don't do anything about it, and they are obsolete for too long. So let's see what I could do here. That is actually decent firepower, even though it's only 12-inch guns. Let's remove the torpedo tubes. Does bulged and change anything? Okay. -2 knots displacement. Okay. Why does it get what? So the engine gets more expensive, the speed stays the same, but I have more weight remaining. I think bulged, wouldn't that be torpedo bulges? So protective armor? Thing is though that currently I can't build new battleships for 117 months. And I need to, so I am stuck with those 12-inch ones. And I have parity with the British, almost parity with the US. So I'm as historically correct, I'm one of the 3 strongest naval powers. But we see the Americans obviously have stronger ones. They have a lot more weight. And when the treaty runs out, everyone will build new ones. But if war breaks out anytime soon, I'm stuck with the ones I have. So I need to make them as good as possible. But I guess building a few carriers should be priority for now. Easier said than done, because it's so expensive once more. Okay, at least boost in industrial productivity, so the budget goes up a little bit. New docks as well. Offering to sell us double reduction gears, okay. We buy everything and we sell everything. Enables weight benefits from all forward main armament. That's interesting. So I can design something like the Richelieu and the Dunkirk. Yeah, the thing is I can't replace them because I have a naval treaty. I can build carriers. I can be up to 10,000 tons, I think. That limitation should apply for carriers as well. And I can replace the light cruisers. But I can't build anything bigger than 11,000 tons because I'm, as a dictatorship, I can cheat by 10%. And I can't build anything bigger than 8-inch guns. So the battleships I have are the ones I'm going to be stuck with. Nothing to change them. I'll finish replacing those 2 and then I'll just, yeah, let's build like 3 more light carriers. Less than, yeah, let's do it automatically, and that doesn't look too good, especially if I want to keep the peace. This is done, now I can build light carriers. I think I can afford 2, yes I can. Okay. Firepower 2, 120, 79, I don't think mine is much worse than this. I can design from scratch. Those are new designs that I've created. So what is it? How many? 22 airplanes. And I can convert to full-blown carrier. Oh, okay. And why I've got more money? Upheaval in the Dominican Republic. Why would I care and risk anything with my good relationships? Let them have the Dominican Republic. That float plane, okay, faster, more range, same firepower, less maneuverability, more bombs, perfect, let's take it. Okay, I don't think I can do anything useful with those here, and I need new cruisers, I need new destroyers. This is like the really challenging thing is to set your priorities, and that is really interesting. To be able to do a good fleet with the meager resources you have is really interesting, because then it comes to the point where you have to choose to scrap usable ships to save money. We see all the money I'm spending here on those ships. I actually should set half of them in reserve, I guess, and mothball them. If I don't expect war too soon, it doesn't even make sense to spend immense amounts of money. Let's put the oldest ones in mothball and a few of the newer ones in reserve fleet to save money. And suddenly we got 8 billion additional money. So another light cruiser, light carrier. Let's see if I design a new light carrier, how would it look like? So I can go up to 11,000 tons, I think. Yeah. So 11,000 is the biggest possible. How many planes can they have? 26, 25 knots. I mean, they need to be fast, especially if I don't give them any armor. Those are dual purpose. Okay, let's just remove them all together. Those here. We are 200. The other one had 22 planes. Now this would have 27. That sounds a lot better. Anything else I can remove or add? And there's a lot more room for AA. Yeah, let's use the maximum here. Oh, it's already too much. Okay, now we've got 27 tons in reserve. Speed is oil. Yeah, let's take this as a new design. Yeah, actually I should probably just make it completely unarmored. I mean, one mean look at it and it's sunk. But it's not supposed to fight a lot. 38 planes. What is it here? It's still the same here. Can I make it faster? Probably not. No. And I don't think I can just give it half an inch, right? Yeah. I think the game only allows, the minimum is 1 inch anyways. 25 knots, 100 reserve. I could increase the ammo. How much is another plane? 58. So if I decrease the ammo and take away 2 guns, yeah, that looks 39 planes. That's almost twice as much. Oh, no more than 34. Ah, okay. Well, then I can add. What was it? Port and starboard one. And use displacement. Okay. So give it more ammo. Make it faster. That should work. 28 knots. Now that sounds nice. Directors, by the way, if you have it researched. I have no idea. They get the most modern director, and as said, I mean, the ship is now completely without armor. Can I give it one? No, I can't. So it's completely without armor. That ship better doesn't get shot at. But on the other hand, it'll carry a lot of planes, and that won't hurt. Okay, nope, I don't want war with them. This will mean even longer reduction A new shipbuilding. Prestige. Let's hope that doesn't mean war. Faster. Wait, haven't I just... wasn't there just a new design anyways? Oh. More range, everything better. Yeah, let's take it. Okay, let's build it. Let's build it. It seems... wait, what was it? 1.5? Is it even... that's the same price basically as the tile. Even though it's much bigger and more effective. Interesting. I can build 4 of those. Ah, okay. Let me see. Ah, okay. Yeah, they aren't researched yet, so I can't add. But the excess weight, as there is some weight left to I can modernize them at a later point. Terminal belt, yeah, let's buy everything we can get. Okay, we got 2 billion surplus, 2.6, so let's modernize something. How many battle cruisers? 4, 8, 12. What is the... let's just see what I can do here. Replace machinery with oil. I want 120 shells. Those should be dual purpose. And have a director. I want increased elevation, and I don't think I have better guns. No, I don't. Okay, those are deleted. Bullshit. And that's a lot of weight left that I can turn into AA. Yeah, I will. It's what I usually do. As every time I have a new director, I try to modernize everything as fast as possible, because obviously you want the highest efficiency of your guns, and it won't be different with the AA. Okay. No, I only have light AA. Okay, and still 700 remaining, so I should be able to increase the speed. Actually quite a lot, 25 knots from 21. Now that's an update, except that 12-inch guns are pretty much useless, I'm afraid. But apart from that, that looks like a pretty useful update. No, what? Ah, that's another one. Okay. That looks uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. The thing is, yeah, wing turrets are always an issue, but I mean, this one has at least 4. Wasn't the other design with less? Yeah, only three 12-inch turrets is, in my book, completely useless. Then I should convert the whole thing to an aircraft carrier. If I only have 6 12-inch turrets, doesn't make any sense anymore. Aircraft carrier to the Soviets. Oh, well, they'd research it otherwise. Let's give it to them, and I need the money. DDs up to 2,000 displacement. That sounds like a good point. Holy moly, that doesn't look good. That looks like a good point to start building new DDs. Okay. And we build at the maximum size. It's 8 torpedo mounts. Okay, I can't build double mounts yet. Okay, I still have to stick to the old single mounts. Okay. Normal 129. That's a lot of weight still remaining. Could I add another center line swivel mount? Let me see. Will reduce rate of fire. Minus 20%, but 4 additional torpedoes. That seems like a good trade. And I can't even give them, okay, I don't have any submarine ASW researched yet, but it's still a budget. Can I make it even faster? No, I can't. Speed, oil, normal, medium, sounds like a decent design. Minesweeping gear, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Especially as they've changed something with the... Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. Good idea to change it here. So, oh yeah, of course. Okay, guns yet, but these, wait. Insufficient topside space. Ah, okay, because I increased the... Ah, okay. No, it should work. Minus rate of fire, minus 20%, that's a lot, but 4 additional torpedoes should be worth it. And I rarely engage in gunfights with my... in prolonged gunfights in my DDs. So... I'll just start 12 of them and stop as many of them as are needed to keep the budget under control. Yeah, like that. When is the next going to be finished? 8 months. Ill-considered. Oh god. I don't want war with Great Britain. Okay. Yeah, if I click this, I have war with Great Britain. Nope. Yeah, and once more, as soon as I start building a new design, something significantly better is researched. Improves invasion capacity. That sounds good. And more new docks. I'm already at 52,000. That's good. Tension, nope. We are not going to do this. As said, the goal is to try to keep the Naval Treaty active as long as possible. Yeah, the DDs might... I mean, I can always modernize them, but it's probably better to just build new ones. But regarding how old the other DDs are, even if I could have better ones right away, they are still significantly better from what I have right now. And thanks for the follow, by the way, Viking Hawk. Intelligence reports naval on active duty. Probably just maneuvers. Send a note, reduce their standing. Questions, I have no idea what happened. I guess it's like a mix. They either say yes and then tension is reduced, or they say no and then it's increased and I might be at war. Let's try it. Ignores. Does it make it worse? Budget? Tension? Yeah, we're accepting this because we want less tensions. Oh, that looks good. As said, the goal is to keep the peace and not, because I don't see a point in starting with the Washington Naval Treaty and then just provoke a war within 3 years to break it. If you have the treaty, you should try to stick to it. Yeah, they can have Angola, I don't care. So, budget is negative but not critical yet. Okay. I need more naval air stations as well. I need fortifications probably. Well, at least some new carriers are coming online. 12-inch, yeah, of course. Now I get them when I have battleships in rebuild. Well, I guess they won't get the new 12-inch guns, but at least the other ones can get it. Uprising in China, okay. can reduce I don't think I can. This event doesn't give me any control about the Chinese territory. So using this will just increase tensions again, and as said, the goal is to keep the peace. So let's use the option to reduce the tension as much as possible. And we have a new float plane scout faster, bigger range. That's already enough for me to know. Okay, let's choose this one. And I'm in positive budget, so let's continue some of the DDs. And as soon as they are finished, I'll modernize a few more battleships, and then will be a new round of carriers. Coronation review. What the? Prestige? Oh, I'm already at 18. That isn't good. Can't reduce much more. Yeah, I mean it's low enough that I shouldn't have war overnight. Left some of our nationals. Yeah, this on the other hand will get me very close to war. I can't lose more prestige. I'm already at 18. I'm too peaceful. I guess they want me to fight a war pretty soon. 2-inch guns. Yeah, I'm using a lot of 2-inch guns, so that's really helpful. Thank you, guys. Okay. Completely running out of DDs. I guess the first one's already sinking in port because they are so old. From 1904. My cruisers. God. There's so much that is obsolete here. Okay, all the DDs are building. Could probably use this design and modernize it with K-guns. It's a little overweight now, okay. And it's still only 10% change, so it's gonna be very cheap. 5 tons overweight seems okay. It doesn't have mines yet. I guess if I add them, it's getting too heavy. 25 tons. Ship is overweight. I mean, the worst thing that should usually, if it happens, it's getting 1 knot slower. Usually, and I think that is acceptable. Yeah. So let's just revise that, make it a little overweight, and build another round of them. And yeah, I should start scrapping old crap, those floating coffins. Naval visit by Germany. Prestige and tension. Germany is the lowest tension, and their navy should be yeah, they have 1 light carrier. Their navy is a complete joke, thanks to the to the Versailles Treaty. Prestige and tension. Prestige down. That doesn't make any sense, but I don't. Oh wait, this should only be with Germany, right? Let's see. About another 12. Yeah, perfect. I can afford that. Okay, let's scrap some of those 400 tons. Scrap. I think a few of them did already sink. Because I think there were more initially in the 900 tons. I can scrap them as well. Okay. Those are all mothballed. The 11 ones are already getting obsolete as well. I need so many new ships. 5 aircraft. That thing is complete garbage. I could basically scrap it as well. Why would I want a carrier with 5 aircraft? Unless I need it. It's Can it do commerce rating? I mean, I'm not at war, so I don't know, but if it could do commerce rating, I might use it up for that. I think I'm gonna scrap it. But I can definitely mothball it. There's no reason to pay for anything of it. I mean, 14 million isn't that much. But yeah, there's basically no point in keeping it. Scrap it. Okay. Money is still in the red, but the first DDs are going to be finished soon. And I have new light carriers. Perfect. Oh yeah, 40 mils. I want those. 3 and 4 inch twin double dual purpose mounts. That sounds good. Yes, yes, yes. Give them air units. Okay, almost positive budget. First DD done. Okay, let's think about the next conversion. Yeah, this here, I guess. Design for rebuild, new machinery, oil, new guns. Oh, they already have the beta director. Yep, let's give them 120s as well. We do make them bulged. Let's delete those torpedo mounts. And they get dual purpose 4-inch guns. Okay, a lot of additional. What was this? Speed is 22. I guess the design wasn't met. I think I made them at least 23 knots. Let's see. 23. Oh, didn't I make them 25? I think so. That would mean the design calculations were insanely bad. Oh my god. Okay, so 25 knots, that is a usable battleship. Turret top, I mean the turret armor seems a little weak, but I guess I'm gonna risk it. Let's see, either I have to make them dual purpose. No, I think I'm gonna delete them altogether and give them more and one light. Okay, that should help it. And it's still 1,100. Can I add a catapult? And but why would I rather have cruisers for scouting than waste money on those here. I could also delete those 2 turrets, but I already the weight is already so the weight is already really strong. Could this as additional deck armor, that sounds like a good choice. Protection against bombs and against long range fire. That's actually sounds really good. Yeah, if I do those, yeah, that capacity decreases. Okay. 18 tons, so I used everything, increased elevation, most modern director. They should get a director too. And as much as AA is possible. And I'm not a believer in big secondary and tertiary guns, because my battleships are not supposed to be close enough in this phase of the game that these guns actually even matter. With improved director, they become pretty accurate, and I can shoot out to 26,000 yards. So why would I put 3-inch guns that I have no idea what range they have, but probably not more than 6,000 to 8,000 yards, and then they are almost useless against anything but destroyers. So I don't see a point in doing that. Okay, I replaced the machinery. I think the design is done. Okay, that actually looks like a usable design. I mean, the caliber of the gun is too low, and unfortunately, the game doesn't allow what the Italians did, like boring the barrels, making the caliber bigger by a little bit. They turned their 30.5 centimeter guns into 32 centimeters, so added like more than half an inch. But this should improve it. Now 8 billion. The rebuilding is half as expensive. Basically as expensive as building a new one, only it takes only half the time. But this is again, I mean, the basic intention here is to make sure I'm following the naval treaty for as long as possible. Nobody would rebuild those ships in his right minds if there is not a naval treaty. Nope. Why would I want Zanzibar? Nope. I don't want conflict with Great Britain. I want to reduce the tensions. Political murder. Oh God. Tension. Everything increases tension. So I guess. I guess I have war now. I can't really do much unless France is by some miracle not involved in that. I think they have to cross it for war, but it'll cross it very fast by itself. If I don't have like the event in next turn to reduce tension, then there is war. Well, I tried to keep the peace for as long as possible, I guess. Triple turrets on light cruisers, so I can finally build decent light cruisers. That's good. Faster, higher cruise speed, shorter ranges. That doesn't sound too good. Firepower equal, maneuverability much higher, toughness lower. Now let's take it. And there it is. And the Washington Naval Treaty is gone. Okay, so I tried to keep it as long as possible, and I actually managed it till 26. But that means I can now, everyone will now start building new battleships. 16-inch guns. I don't have bigger ones. No, I do have 17, but -1. I think the -1 will be worse. And then 30.5. What was it here? That's higher. 8.8 and 6.5. Yeah. And it's lighter. Okay. I don't build secondary guns that aren't AA. I don't build submerged torpedo mounts. Question is whether I should continue modernizing the older ships to some degree, because those new battleships won't be ready before 3 years have passed. And if I don't replace the machinery, only directors, I guess I can't replace the guns either. And it's only like a 4 months refit. I guess I'll have to do that. Okay, so that is maximum here. Wait, there's a big buffer. 5 turrets doesn't sound too bad, but it's only 30. I can build 50,000 tons. Okay. 58,000. What can I build with that? Okay, that will be a serious broadside. Okay, too many main mounts. I can take the aft centerline away. Still insane. An insane weight left to be used. And it's good, they say. Okay, let's put more of everything. Secondary, especially. Okay, and they are already too much. Yeah. Okay, that looks like everything here is okay in this regard. And I can increase the speed and the armor. Let's make it 12-inch, Deca 3. Well, I can probably even afford 4-inch. That's insane. Yeah, and you're right. I need the dual-purpose secondaries. Fire control area directors aren't researched yet. Okay. That is the highest. There's still 2,000 left. 27 knots. That is a strong ship. Oh yeah, I still have single mounts. And a lot of place immediately free. That's good. Okay, 700 left. 12.5-inch belt armor. That sounds good. An immunity zone of 1,000 yards. That is okay. I plan to shoot mostly long range, so let's make it 11-inch. Can I then increase it to 5-inch? How is it like this? No immunity zone. That is an issue. 4.5-inch. Okay, 11.5-inch. That's like the strongest I can make it, and I mean with the weight here, that insanely high weight, it should be far stronger than everything an opponent can send against me. So yeah, I guess that design is fine. 12 billion just for the design work. Oh my god. And now I need to mobilize everything. So the run costs are going crazy. The maintenance costs. Oh my god. Okay, those two halted. Okay. Yeah, it's I think it could fight the Yamato with those 12 shells, 12 barrels. Oh wait, it's 16 16-inch guns. That is some serious firepower. Okay, the French are down here. And I probably don't have any... I should have sent some serious forces here. Then I could have done surprise attack. That's too late now. So what ships are we sending? Okay, first of all, whom do we send to raiding? Guess the old crap. Radar. Well, what was it? Send it somewhere. Right, how do I send ships? Active fleet, trade protection, foreign station. Move ship, there it is. Okay. Mediterranean, I have no idea. I think I can send it with medium range there. And that one can go to the South Pacific. And that one is going to go to the Indian Ocean. Okay. Apart from that, let's just send a lot of them to what is it, Southeast Asia? Problem is, most of what I have is obsolete. That's kind of an issue. So yeah, I need some ships at home. What are the new destroyers? Okay. Let's send all of them here to, what is it, Southeast Asia. That should be the one where the Frenchies have. Okay. This is Southeast Asia, right? Yeah. Did it send? Yeah, it sent all those that were possible. And I think they have their. Oh yeah, and I haven't built bases either. Quite heavy on strike. Let's just hope they don't have many bases here. I can't even afford it. Okay, let's build an air base for Mosa in Takao. Oh yeah, and I need corvettes as well. And I usually like to make them as small as possible, I guess, with their tonnage being relevant for ASW. I need to increase a bigger tonnage makes sense, so I guess we're just leaving them as this. They're not supposed to fight destroyers anyway, but with two 5-inch guns, that should be fine. So small corvettes get deleted, but what is having... Okay, the bigger ones hang around. Is it known what the size is that is the threshold? I tried to build 50 tons and I wasn't able to build them in peacetime, so I guess that was the class that would be deleted. Yeah, I want to use coal. What? Displacement for 5-inch guns, okay. Yeah, I don't really care. Okay. Haven't researched to a purpose. I mean, let's just make them as small as possible. I plan to win the war as soon as I can with naval engagements and conquer one after the other. It's even hundreds, okay. What the fuck? Okay. So let's make it a 500 ton. Yeah, coal, displacement, I don't care. If I can build them. They're not supposed to fight, and I'll send the main force of my fleet down to Southeast Asia and invade one province after the other, and that should end the war. Okay, 3 billion in the red. So I need to stop more destroyers, but corvettes are more important right now. So are there any DDs left that I'm not sending anywhere? Yeah, those old obsolete things here. So they are trade protection. How much more do I need? Wasn't that somewhere here? No idea. Fleet support, submarine warfare. Okay. Price rules here. Here. 11 to 21. What is this? 36 to. Okay. They are being sent somewhere. They aren't. Okay. I guess I'll just have to suffer the losses if I want to have destroyers with me in Southeast Asia. Or can I send those? Yeah, I think I should be able to give them into trade protection as well, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's just use, I don't know, those. I think I should be able to use battle cruisers as well, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they probably will get sunk by some lucky submarine. The problem is, as I said, I mean, to me, corvettes are the cheap crap I don't use to fight. So if I decide a 1,000 2 5-inch guns, 2 secondary 4-inch, 4K guns, and increased storage and minesweeping, yeah, it actually works. Seems to work. Overgunned rate of fire will be reduced by 10%. That's not that bad. Yeah, a design like that would work. Price though, 2.5 billion. How much is a destroyer? Okay, 7. So it's 1/3 basically, roughly 1/3 of the price. Foreign stations. I'm sending them down already. I just have too few ships. I scrapped too many, I guess. Foreign station. Oh, it was trade protection. Doesn't help a lot if I use that one. Okay. So I guess one of them. What is foreign station? Ah, yeah, 600 tons. So I have far too few ships. Oh my